What's your craziest plan that actually worked? My parents were religious in a way that scared other religious people. They believed sin was a disease that spread through touch, and that the wicked had to be quarantined to protect the righteous. When I got pregnant at 16, they locked me in the basement. Not grounded, not punished, but actually locked in with a deadbolt on the outside of the door, and meals pushed through a slot like I was a prisoner. You're too contaminated to ever walk among the pure again, Dad explained through the door. This is the only way to protect our family and our community from what you've become. They wore rubber gloves and surgical masks if they ever had to come near me. Mom would spray disinfectant in the air after sliding my food through because she said she could smell the sin on me. I lived like that for months, with nothing but a mattress on the floor, a small bathroom, and boxes of old family stuff they'd stored down there over the years. I went through everything out of pure boredom. I found Dad's journals from before he got religious, filled with entries about a girl named Cindy, who he got pregnant when he was 17, and the cash he gave her to make the problem go away. I found love letters between Mom and her old pastor, complete with Polaroids that would have made their congregation faint. I found receipts and confessions and secrets they thought they'd buried forever. They had locked their sins in the basement and completely forgotten they were there. When the pregnancy made me sick, I begged them for a doctor. We can't unleash your corruption on an innocent medical professional, Mom said through the door. You'll have to suffer through it. Consider it penance. I survived by imagining my baby living a good life somewhere far away from here, even if I never would. Then at 8 months pregnant, Dad let slip what they actually had planned. We found a group that specializes in purifying babies born from sin, he announced proudly while collecting my trash with barbecue tongs. They submerge the newborn in holy ice water until it stops breathing, and then it's reborn without the stain of its mother's wickedness. You're going to drown my baby? We're going to save your baby. You should be grateful. I realized that night that I was going to have to save us both, and I knew exactly how to do it. I spent 3 days preparing. I made candles from old wax I found in the storage boxes. I practiced lowering my voice until it didn't sound like me anymore. I memorized every secret I'd found in their files, and I prayed for the first time in months, not to their God, but to whoever might be listening, that my parents were as crazy as I thought they were. When Dad came down with dinner on the 4th night, I was standing in the center of the basement, surrounded by a circle of flickering candles. My eyes were rolled back in my head, and I was swaying slowly. What in God's name are you doing? Dad whispered. God has nothing to do with this, I said in a voice so deep it scared even me. I have seen your sins, Father. I know what lives in your heart. Dad dropped the food tray and stumbled backward. What is this? What's happening to you? Tell me about Cindy. Tell me about the baby you paid to destroy in 1986. Did you think I wouldn't find out? Did you think you could hide from me? His face went white as death. How do you know about that? That's impossible. Nobody knows about that. I know everything. I have always known. Mom came running down the stairs to see what the noise was, and I turned on her with my eyes still rolled back. And you, the pastor's wife, forgave you, but I did not. I've seen the photographs, Mother. I've seen what you did on your knees, and it wasn't praying. Mom started screaming. Dad was crying and backing up the stairs. I followed them slowly, chanting nonsense Latin I'd memorized from their religious books, reciting their sins one by one. You wanted to drown the prophet? You wanted to destroy the only pure thing in this house? Now I will show you what happens to the wicked. They collapsed in the kitchen, sobbing and clawing at their own skin, completely convinced that the devil himself was speaking through me. I walked right past them and out the front door into the night air while they writhed on the floor begging for forgiveness. I went straight to the police station and told them everything. They investigated and found the basement prison, found the money my parents had wired to the group that was supposed to drown my baby, found the candles still burning in a circle on the floor. My parents tried to tell the cops I was possessed by a demon, and none of my testimony could be trusted, but it turns out that's not a great legal defense. My daughter is 3 years old now, and she will never know what it's like to be afraid of her family. Sometimes I think about telling her how I saved both our lives by pretending to be the devil, but I figure I'll wait until she's older.